at the same time that Father Capon is working to facilitate the surrender of the men he was caring for. Close by, Sergeant First Class Herbert Miller is trying to make it to safety when shrapnel from a grenade explodes near his feet and badly injures one of his ankles.
The bottom half of his leg from his knee on down was just in shreds. He said that he was bleeding so much. At first he thought he was going to bleed to death, but so he said he tried to stand up. He said he obviously couldn't stand up on his broken ankle, so he said he just laid there trying to decide what to do.
There was dead Koreans and Chinese there, so where I was laying, I pulled one of them over me. So I laid down there, and I had my arm up like this, and I could see that Korean's boot right there, but he didn't know I was alive. So pretty quick they took off. The Americans chased them out of there, and I just laid there till about, I guess, 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so. And I looked up a ditch, and here was a Chinese officer and a Korean. And the Korean saw that I was alive, so he come down there.
Finally, this Chinese soldier realizes that he's still alive, pulls the bodies off of him, and puts the rifle to Miller's forehead, and there was no hope.
And he stood over me with a gun pointed right at my head, and I figured to myself, well, this is the end of the road right here. And about that time, I saw this soldier coming from across the road there.
Father had already surrendered and was under guard and saw this execution about to take place. So he walked away from his own guards who could have shot him. He just walked away.
He come right straight to where I was, pushed that guy aside. Why that guy never shot him, I'll never know. The Lord must have healed him, because he bent over and picked me up and carried me.
He said, I don't have any idea how he was able to pick me up, but he said he picked me up, and he said he started to carry me.
And I hopped along on one leg, and him with his arm around me. And I found out then that he was a chaplain, and it was Father Capon. I didn't know who he was, because his helmet was all dirty, and you couldn't see the cross on it. And when it got dark, he routed us out of there and made us start walking. And Father Capon was hanging on to me, helping me along. Sometimes he'd carry me. Sometimes he'd put his arm around me, helping me hop on one leg. Because I didn't have a shoe on my wounded leg, and it was all open. There was no bandage or anything. And that's the way we went from there to prison camp. It was a long journey. But without him, I'd have never made it. God sent that man to me. I know just as well as I was born. If the Lord sent him and he obeyed what the Lord told him, to come straight across there where I was at, there's no other reason, none. Because he could have just well left and went the other way. So I give the Lord all the credit for saving my life, and he obeyed what the Lord told him to do. You'll never find another man like him, not on this side of heaven.